One eye injury revealed a problem that had been costing a company money every day. What began as a routine investigation ended up revealing a major source of waste in production process. That's today's topic. Stay tuned. Greetings and welcome to Safety Doctor. In today's episode I will be sharing with you another real-life incident. But in this case the incident is not the focal point, the point is in how properly done investigation can actually reveal problems that are hiding in plain sight. It's also a good example in how safety is not only something that slows production and costs money, but it can be something that improves production and saves a lot of money. This case takes place in a factory that produced precast concrete stairs. The process itself was simple. First you write plans, then you make a mold, then you put the iron in, then you cast the concrete, then it dries, you finish it, pack it and ship it. Simple as that. And after the casting and drying, there usually remained some concrete flashings that needed to be removed by hand. Every single unit, every single day, every working day a year. The factory had recently changed ownership. The company had been in financial trouble, after which it was sold. During the reign of the previous owner and those financial troubles, the safety standards had really deteriorated. And what it meant that there was frequently accidents and the working conditions weren't optimal either. There was dust, there was noise, there was poor tools, a lot of physical work and mess, a lot of mess. And gradually people had gotten used to it. And that is one of the biggest dangers in any workplace. When problems continue long enough, they become normal and they stop looking like problems.
The new owner wanted to fix things fast, and that's when I stepped in the picture. I was the safety manager of the company at the time, and under my supervision the safety work began systematically. Improvements began with everyday things, housekeeping, logistics, work phases, storage areas and so on. But we also fixed the safety management systems. For example, we fixed the accident and incident investigation protocols. And when we were doing all this work, it became apparent that there are many different kinds of problems in the site, and those were revealed through safety work. The eye injury happened in the finishing phase of production. A worker was removing concrete flashings from a stair, and a piece of concrete debris got into his eye despite the fact that he was wearing safety goggles from somewhere between there. And the injury itself was not severe, but it was serious enough for a formal investigation to be launched, and because it was the first one that happened during the process being in use, I decided to go on site and lead the investigation myself. This time the case was investigated properly. We had pushed aside the old system where the guilty party was to be found and punished, and we wanted to find what had happened and why. And so we didn't just ask how did this debris get into your eye, but we went as far as to why did this work phase take place in the first place. And that's when things got really interesting. The investigation revealed that the concrete flashings were removed from each unit manually. That took about 2 hours per unit, and it's a very careful manual labor. And when you think about it, factory has operated for years, Several stairs are manufactured every day, and on every unit every day you spend 2 hours just fixing problems that were caused earlier in the process of making the stair. During the investigation, we naturally rounded up the usual suspects, like, are there instructions for the work? Yes. Has something like this happened before? No. Is there a risk assessment for this kind of hazards? No. Did the worker use protection? Yes, but it was the wrong kind. He used protection as required, but it was not sealing the eye properly so that the dirt could get in. So, case closed. No, we were not amateurs. We didn't only want to find out how the debris got into the worker's eye. We wanted to know why was he doing the work at all. During the investigation, more severe problems began to emerge, one of which was that the overall mood on site was very grim. Also, the different work crews did not talk with each other, and there was a lot of friction, and different crews just made sure that they take care of themselves and their problems. And this had led to a system where the finishing workers were doing futile work fixing problems that the casting crew had done way earlier, and this had become the new normal. For years, workers had been correcting the same problem. Every day, every stair. Nobody stopped to ask, could we correct the problem? And that's one of the biggest problems in production environment. When something is repeated long enough, it becomes normal, and nobody stops to question it, even if it would make no sense at all. In the end, the solution was really simple. One strip of masking tape was inserted to the mold before the concrete was cast. After it had dried, no flashings were there, no more removal work, no more dust grinding, no manual correction. And that was only one small detail that was changed, and the entire work phase was removed from the process. Lessons learned today. The most important lesson was not that you can use a strip of masking tape to fix concrete casting process. It was that when you do your due diligence in accident and incident investigation, you can find out things that are hidden in plain sight that will save your company a lot of time and in process money. Yet I do not recommend causing accidents so that you can go and investigate them and find this kind of things out. There are other ways to do that, just to make sure. In this case, we learned quite clearly through an example that safety did not hinder production or cost a lot of money. Actually, we just spent tiny fraction, a few cents on masking tape to save a lot of money, like substantial amount of money. And that's a good lesson. There's a lot of research that states that safety work is very profitable because it improves your productivity, it improves your quality, it decreases loss, it decreases sick leaves, and so on, so forth. So let's take this one home with us. We learned that properly executed safety work can become a window through which you can look at problems that are not normally visible or easy to spot. You can see if there are problems within the mood, within the different groups of personnel, and you can see if there's failures that go through the whole process and cause risks somewhere completely different, like in this case. We also learned that when you do investigation, you must not stop when you see the obvious reason for an accident. Like in this case, wrong kind of safety goggles. You have to go deeper and find the root cause. In this case, lack of strip of masking tape. this was everything I have for you today. If this video gave you something to think about, you can drop a comment below. If you want to help my channel grow, you can like, subscribe, or maybe send this to a friend who might be interested in this kind of topics. And if your company struggles with any of the topics on this video or my other videos, don't hesitate to contact me. I can help you. I am Safety Doctor. See you on the next episode. Thanks for watching.